Hey, g'day, and welcome back to Subnautica. Just going to give you 5 quick tips for early game. So the first one, collect and dump. Now, I actually showed this in one of my episodes, and that is when you first start off and you're just sitting in the life pod. Sometimes you just collect lots and lots of things. So what I'd suggest is, if you haven't built your base yet, you can either do two things. You can build a heap of inflatables. But I find the easiest way is just find a patch of dirt or sand that is not going to roll away, like I did here, I think in episode 1. And everything you collect, you just dump. So dropping it here, it's not going to go anywhere. It's just going to sit there. It doesn't fade away, it doesn't rot away. It's just going to sit here in nice holes. So just collect and dump. Just make sure you don't throw away your favourite toy. But that's alright, the toy's not going to go away anywhere either. Alright. Okay, tip number 2, 2 tank dive. So whenever I dive, I always dive with the 2 cylinders on my back, or 2 tanks on my back in this game. Simply by pressing left click, you can actually change those tanks. So let's just quickly dive down. It will consume oxygen from only the cylinder on your back. As you start sort of swimming around, obviously your tank is going to drop. Usually then when you get to about the halfway mark, or when you start getting close to the end, you start to get panic a little bit, and then that's when you want to sort of start making your way to the surface. But with a 2 tank dive, open up your tab, left click, and you can switch over directly to that other cylinder, and you can extend your stay on the ground. So 2 tank dive, definitely a great tip. The only thing you need to watch out for is make sure you do left click, don't hit right click, and drop that cylinder on the ground. So 2 tank dive. Right, tip number 3, the air bladder. Now, I've been definitely guilty of this until a friend introduced it to me the other week. So I would always do the 2 tank dive, but sometimes I would just be swimming around and ignore all the warnings that you're running out of air, like that. So if you're sort of down and you're down to, let's say, 21, you look up and you know you're not going to make it, and you're going, you're right, this is going to be a reset. You can simply make sure you use your bladder, right click, and let it take you to the surface. If you pass out, it will get you to the surface safely to prevent you from passing out and prevent you from dying. So that's tip number 3. The air bladder. Okay, tip number 4, and I'm surprised how many people do not use this. The Grav Trap. Honestly, for early game, make yourself a Grav Trap. It only takes batteries, copper ore and titanium, something you find fairly simple. So instead of you chasing around these pesky fish just to try and get yourself some food in the early game, make yourself a Grav Trap, throw it out, and you're fishing. Your day's fishing is done. Hey? If only if real life fishing was this easy. Make yourself a Grav Trap, tip number 4. Okay, tip number 5, the beacon. Oh my God, how many times have you swam around, you see something that you want to go back to, only to never find it? You find yourself a wreck, you find yourself a cave entrance, so make yourself a beacon. Don't go out exploring if you don't have one of these in your pocket. It takes up 1 slot and is only 1 copper and 1 titanium. Super simple to use. Place it in your slot. right click and deploy the beacon. It is that easy. Move up to it again and you can name it. Okay, and it would always stay there. Just be careful not to sort of plant the entire reef full of beacons, because then it gets a little bit crowded when you've got them all turned on and you've got nothing but beacons all sort of littered around you. But tip number 5, beacon. Must have. Alright. And tip number 6. Yes, I know. How can I have tip number 6 if it's a 5-tip series? But tip number 6 is a bonus one. Stalker Teath farming. So what you can actually do is find yourself a little area where you've got a couple of stalkers and you know what? Just play with them. Drop some salvage. And what you'll actually find is they will actually get the salvage. They will play with it. They'll sort of leave you alone around a bit sometimes. But what they will do when they're playing around with it, they will drop teeth when you've created a little stalker. Here we go, here's another one. A little stalker tooth farm. So you're probably going to have to sacrifice maybe 2 or 3 pieces. But just drop them around. Keep playing with them. Well, that, there you go. I've got 3 stalkers here, and you can hear their teeth breaking. Alright, that's tip number 6. Whoops. I think that reef back's a little bit lost. Alright, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the tips, as I really enjoyed actually making them. And they've actually been some things that have definitely helped me in early game, just to sort of build my base and to get going. So I've started playing Subnautica. So thank you. Don't forget to hit the likes and hit the subscribe for more of this and any other games that I actually play. If there's anything particularly you'd like to see or you'd like me to make, don't forget to leave it in the comments, and that helps me guide me when I make the videos as well. Thank you and good luck with your game in Subnautica. Bye.